Welcome to the 700 Club. Mixed messages. That's what the United States is sending regarding the Iran nuclear deal. President Biden wants to sign the deal, and his administration's new ambassador is in Israel this week pushing the president's plan.
Congressional leaders from both parties are pushing back. They seek a different course of action. Julie Stahl reports on the opposing views.
The U.S. believes a diplomatic approach is the best solution to this ongoing conflict with Iran, according to U.S. Ambassador to Israel Tom Nides.
We would like to obviously extend the JCPOA, but under the terms that the Biden administration has laid out. We get into greater details of that later, but certainly it's an important thing that we care about deeply.
Nides told foreign journalists that President Biden would not tolerate a nuclear Iran.
The president has articulated many times we will not stand by to let the Iranians obtain a nuclear weapon. And the president has articulated this both to Prime Minister Lapid and to the leadership of this government that we will not tie Israel's hands to defend itself against Iranian aggression.
Supporters of re-entering the 2015 deal believe the original agreement effectively restrained Iran's nuclear capabilities, although military intelligence reports and UN inspectors have refuted that conclusion. A visiting bipartisan delegation of U.S. senators and congressmen stated opposition to any Iranian nuclear agreement.
In terms of the Iran nuclear agreement, there will be bipartisan opposition. It will be up to the administration as to whether or not they should enter into the agreement.
Republican Senator Lindsey Graham says he and Democrat Senator Bob Menendez have put forth a different plan.
Senator Menendez and myself have offered an alternative to the JCPOA, allowing Iran and Sunni Arab nations to have nuclear power, but all their enrichment would be done outside the region, so you wouldn't have to worry about nuclear proliferation.
Menendez says any agreement must pass congressional review. If it does, he and Graham want additional legislation that would subject Iran to continuing reviews. And he says the International Atomic Energy Agency should investigate and draw a conclusion about undeclared Iranian sites.
That conclusion, I think, would only lead us to the fact that Iran did seek to produce nuclear weapons. They lied to the world. And now the question is, how do you frame their march forward?
Both the senators and ambassador agree that U.S. support for Israel is unwavering.
All of us believe it's a good investment in America's national security to have a strong and capable Israel. So no matter the outcome of the election, there's not going to be any major change in support for Israel, no matter who is in charge of the House and the Senate.
Julie Stahl, CBN News, Jerusalem.
Well, let me echo that we shouldn't sign any kind of deal with the current government in Iran. They have repeatedly lied about their nuclear ambitions, their nuclear capability, the technology they're quite clearly using to develop nuclear weapons. They've lied to the UN, they've lied to the US, they've lied to Europe. They've concealed what they are truly doing. So how can you ever trust them to honor any kind of terms on any kind of treaty agreements? This nation is the largest exporter of terrorism in the world today. Hezbollah, Hamas are all supported financially, supported with weapons, with drones, with all kinds of military technology. Why in the world would we ever trust them with nuclear weapons?